Here's how I created this Victoria's Secret full glam makeup look. I prepped my skin with 2 moisturisers, Sebamed Clear Face Gel and a tiny amount of Embryolisse. Then I used Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow on the high points of my cheeks, above my lips, anywhere that I wanted that glow to really come through. You'll see throughout this video that I'm using a very small amount of product. So less product, more control. Try and remember that when you come to recreate this yourself. You can always dip in and get more. Now on to foundation. My favourite is Face Atelier. It is a silicone based foundation. It's very glowy. I still can use it on some oily skin, but you need to really prep. Use oil absorbing primers. Don't use heavy moisturisers underneath it. But this is an absolutely beautiful foundation. Again, I'm using a very small amount. Next, it's on to eyes. I'm using an eye primer. This one is from Viseart. I'm not 100% sure about it yet. I need to do more tests. Next step is Charlotte Tilbury's Cream Pot Eyeshadow in Champagne. I'm using a flat brush to deposit the colour onto my lids. And then I'm doing tiny swiping motions in the socket just to blend the edges. I'm not taking this shadow any higher over my socket. It's just staying on the mobile lid. But I'm using a flat brush to deposit that colour, and then you'll see me using fluffy brushes to blend eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with a Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette, and this is one of her pink palettes, and I'm using the very middle shade. I'm looking straight forward, and I want to make sure that I'm covering the hood of my eye socket. That is what hangs down. I want darkness, I want depth here to blend away and make it look like it's not there. If I was to go lighter and put highlight on here, it would make it look even droopier than it already is. I'm using small circular motions. I'm not going back and forth in big swipey motions, but keeping them quite small and quite precise. I've gone in with a deeper pink there, and now I'm going to go in with the darkest pink on a smaller brush. The smaller the brush, the darker the colour, the more control you have. The bigger the brush, the fluffier, the lighter the colour, the more it's going to blend out. Those are the kind of rules I kind of live by. So I'm using 3 brushes to blend. You want to use each brush simultaneously to get a nice blend within your eyeshadows. Don't just use one brush and 3 different colours, because it's just going to go murky and muddy and you're going to lose control. And I'm blending up and out to give me that lifted effect and to try and hide my hooded eyes. I'm now using this top sparkly shadow right in the inner corner, because the Victoria's Secret models all had bright inner corners thanks to Pat McGrath. Thank you, Mother. And yeah, I really love this look. Even my little boy said he liked the sparkles. And you can use your fingers, or you can use a really small flat synthetic brush to really pack on that colour. I'm now using another really small brush for a dark brown shade, just to give me a little bit more definition on the lash line. Now it's back to base again, and now I'm using concealer and a flat but fluffy brush to blend out the product, and I'm using the absolute tiniest amount, as you can see. So I'm starting right in my inner corner, and I'm going to lightly blend, lightly press, and just buff it onto the skin. You can see it's giving me coverage, but it is very, very light. I'm not applying the concealer to my face from the concealer wand, because it's going to give me too much product and I won't be able to blend it out, and it'll sit into my lines and it just won't look nice. Remember, the less the product, the more control you have, and the smaller the brush, the more control you have. I'm going under my eyes, around my nose, underneath my lip a little bit, and any discoloration that needs to be concealed. I then go back in with my original foundation brush, and I use that as my blending brush as well. So you'll see me go from my concealer brush to my foundation brush, and I do this with clients and brides, just to make sure that everything is blended, is seamless, and there are no harsh lines anywhere. And the next is blush. This is Daniel Sandler in the shade Flush. I love his blushes. They are so easy to use, very lightweight. They go on top of foundation, they go on underneath, they go on bare skin. I'm just obsessed with them all. This is a cool pink, beautiful for this Victoria's Secret look, and you can see that I went in with a tapered fluffy brush to apply, and then have gone over with my foundation and brush again just to blend out those edges. Now, contour is not something I do regularly on clients. Sometimes I do, not as dark as this though, but I thought, seeing as we're going glam, why not? This is a concealer. It sets very quickly, so I'm trying to apply and blend out at the same time. I have used a tiny amount, again by applying it on the back of my hand and picking it up with my brush and then applying it to my face, instead of drawing lines and then trying to blend out. Less product, more control. Onto brows, my probably most favourite thing over blush. I'm using by Ellie, again on the hunt for other brow products, but I do quite like this, and she has like one in a wand form that I do quite like. This is meant to be more strong than the other one. Using a spoolie, I am putting them into place, moving them around. You've just got to find the right brow shape for you. Brow trends change a lot, and lash curler, my other best friend, obsessed with curling lashes and then using a waterproof mascara over the top. If it's not waterproof, your lashes are not going to stay curled. And then for extra glam, using a nude pencil in the waterline, then concentrating it again on that inner corner. The inner corner, when it's brightened, makes us look more youthful, so we need that for this kind of look. And using Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt and Glow palette, or Bronze and Glow palette, I'm using or enhancing the contour and bronze that I have done previously over the same areas, and then also using the highlight to highlight my cheeks and everywhere that I want to pop. Onto lips, I'm using Huda Beauty lip pencil. You could also use Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk for this. This is just a cool pink lip. When you map out your own or your client's lip line, start with a Cupid's bow and get that straight first. And then do either side, and then you're going to join them back up and then start at the bottom again. You can also just colour in your lips first and then go around and perfect that lip line. My lips are a little bit wonky, so you can see that I just take the time at the end just to make sure that they are straight. I'm also not smiling, so keep your face and keep your client's face still and in its natural position, because when we're not smiling, if you smile and then your lips go back to straight again, they're going to be very wonky. I then used a gloss over top, which was Lisa Eldridge in Petal. I just used a lip brush, as this is not mine, it's in my professional kit. And then I did also go over with Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk, one of the many Pillow Talk glosses that she has, just to finish off the look. So we're nearly at the end, and I'm finishing off with Daniel Sandler's blotting powder. It is an invisible powder. I'm using a fluffy brush. First of all, I am just taking away any creasing that there might be. You can use your finger or your concealer brush. And then I'm using a very small fluffy brush because I want a small amount and I want it to blend. And there we have it, my Victoria's Secret makeup look. I did also go in with Patrick Tar's blush, She's in the Gym, because I felt that was just an extra addition to make it even more poppy and even more glam. So thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think.